Rainy days, cozy nights, mastering the art of wet weather camping. We've all been there. You're nestled in your tent, enjoying the peace of the wilderness when suddenly the heavens open. Rain lashes down, transforming your tranquil haven into a soggy battleground. But don't despair. With the right knowledge and preparation, you can weather any storm Mother Nature throws at you. Surviving a heavy rain camping situation requires proper preparation and the right gear. Here are some essential tips to make your camping experience more comfortable and safe. Remember, staying positive and adaptable is key. Over the years, I've learned a few tricks for staying dry, warm, and fed when the rain sets in. We're going to delve into those very techniques, equipping you with the skills and confidence to conquer any downpour. So, let's get started. Location, 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 picking your campsite. First things first, we need to find you a safe haven. When the rain hits, your choice of campsite can be the difference between a minor inconvenience and a full-blown survival situation. Avoid pitching your tent in valleys or depressions where water naturally collects. Trust me, waking up in a puddle is not how you want to start your day. Instead, aim for higher ground. Look for a gentle slope or a rise in the terrain. This will allow rainwater to flow away from your tent, keeping you high and dry. Remember, water follows the path of least resistance, so stay off the low-lying areas. Keep an eye out for natural windbreaks like a cluster of trees or a rocky outcrop. These can provide some shelter from the elements, especially if the rain is accompanied by strong winds. But remember, avoid setting up directly beneath dead branches. A heavy downpour can weaken them, turning them into potential hazards. Always scan the area for signs of previous flooding. Look for debris lines on trees or discolored vegetation. These are telltale signs that the area might be prone to flooding during heavy rain. And finally, never ever camp near a river or stream, especially during periods of heavy rainfall. These waterways can swell rapidly, turning a tranquil brook into a raging torrent in a matter of hours. Choose your campsite wisely and you'll be one step ahead of the game. Gearing up for the deluge, waterproofing your world. Right, now that we've found a good spot, let's talk about gear. When the heavens open, you need a reliable shelter. That means investing in a good quality waterproof tent. And I'm not talking about just any tent. Look for one with a hydrostatic head rating of at least 1500 millimeters. This measures the fabric's resistance to water pressure, ensuring you stay dry even in a downpour. But a waterproof tent is only half the battle. A ground tarp or footprint is crucial. Lay it down under your tent to create an extra barrier against moisture seeping up from the ground. Trust me, a damp sleeping bag is a recipe for a miserable night. And don't forget about your clothes and electronics. Dry bags are lifesavers, literally. They're designed to keep your belongings dry no matter how wet things get. I always pack my spare clothes, electronics, and important documents in these. Now let's talk about staying dry from the outside in. A waterproof jacket, pants, and boots are non-negotiable. Look for breathable fabrics like Gore-Tex, which will allow perspiration to escape while keeping the rain out. You don't want to be soaked from the inside out. And remember, water has a sneaky way of finding its way in. Waterproof gloves will protect your hands and keep them warm, while a wide-brimmed hat will stop rain from dripping down your neck. It's all about creating a waterproof cocoon around yourself and your gear. Fort Knox, building your rainproof base camp. All right, we've got our location, our gear sorted. Now it's time to build a fortress against the downpour. First things first, even with a waterproof tent, a tarp adds an extra layer of protection. String it up over your tent, angled slightly to allow water runoff. Now, let's talk trenches. Digging a shallow trench around your tent, about 6 inches wide and deep, will help divert water away from your shelter. It's a simple but effective way to keep your base camp dry. Ventilation is key, even in the rain. Open your tent vents slightly to allow airflow and prevent condensation buildup inside. Condensation can make your tent feel damp and clammy, so good ventilation is essential. If you're setting up camp in a particularly exposed area, consider building a windbreak. Use natural materials like logs, branches, and leaves to create a barrier against the wind. Secure your tent pegs firmly into the ground, especially if you're expecting strong winds. Double-check guy lines and use rocks or heavy objects to anchor them down. You don't want your shelter taking flight in the middle of the night. Organize your gear inside your tent efficiently, keeping essential items close at hand. I like to use dry bags as storage compartments and hang a headlamp from the ceiling for easy access. And finally, before you settle in for the night, do a final check around your campsite. Make sure everything is secure, water is flowing away from your tent, and you have easy access to your gear. There's nothing quite like a warm meal to boost morale in a downpour, but starting a fire in the rain can feel like an impossible task. The key is finding dry tinder and fuel. Look for dry bark beneath overhanging rocks or fallen trees. Birch bark is fantastic as it contains natural oils that make it water resistant. Fat wood, found in the heartwood of pine trees, is another excellent option for its high resin content. Once you've gathered your tinder, create a platform for your fire. Use dry rocks or a fallen log to elevate your tinder and kindling off the wet ground. Now for the ignition. Waterproof matches or a lighter stored in a waterproof case are essential. But for those times when fire starting feels impossible, a gas stove is a lifesaver. Pack a small, lightweight stove for easy cooking in wet conditions. When cooking, keep your food simple and easy to prepare. One-pot meals like stews or soups are ideal. And remember, hot drinks are essential for staying warm and hydrated. If you're feeling adventurous, try collecting rainwater for cooking and drinking. Just be sure to boil it thoroughly or use a water filter to eliminate any bacteria or contaminants. Chapter 5. Staying warm and dry in a rainy camping situation is crucial for your comfort and safety. It all starts with the right clothing. Choose moisture-wicking base layers made from synthetic fabrics or merino wool. These materials will wick sweat away from your skin, keeping you dry and warm even if you get wet. Avoid cotton like the plague. Cotton absorbs moisture and takes ages to dry, leaving you feeling cold and clammy. Trust me, I've learned this the hard way. Layering is key. Start with a base layer, add an insulating layer like fleece or down, and top it off with a waterproof outer layer. This system allows you to regulate your temperature by adding or removing layers as needed. Keep your head and extremities covered as these areas lose heat quickly. A warm hat, gloves, and thick socks are essential for staying comfortable in wet and cold conditions. Pack an emergency blanket. These lightweight, compact blankets are made from a reflective material that reflects body heat back to you, providing incredible warmth in a pinch. If you start to feel cold, get moving. Physical activity will generate body heat and help you warm up. And finally, before you crawl into your sleeping bag, make sure it's completely dry. Hang it up to air out during the day if possible, or use a sleeping bag liner to absorb moisture. Chapter 6. When you're battling the elements, maintaining your energy levels is crucial. Pack high-calorie, nutrient-rich foods that are easy to prepare and don't require a lot of cooking. Think trail mix, energy bars, jerky, nuts and dried fruits. Keep your food dry and organized in waterproof bags or containers. I like to use resealable bags to separate different food items and prevent them from getting crushed. Always pack extra food just in case your trip takes longer than expected or you encounter unexpected delays. Water is even more important than food in a survival situation. Always carry more water than you think you'll need. I recommend at least 2 liters per person per day. A portable water filter is a must-have for any camping trip, especially in wet conditions. It will allow you to safely drink water from streams, rivers, or even puddles if necessary. Consider bringing water purification tablets as a backup option. These tablets can kill harmful bacteria and viruses in water, making it safe to drink. Remember, staying hydrated is essential for maintaining your energy levels and staying alert, especially in challenging weather conditions. Chapter 7. Alright, safety should always be your top priority, especially when rain is involved. Before you even set foot on the trail, check the weather forecast. Understand the potential for heavy rain, thunderstorms, or flash floods. A weather radio is a valuable tool for staying updated on changing weather conditions. It can provide crucial information and warnings, giving you time to prepare or seek shelter if necessary. Always let someone know your itinerary and expected return time. This way, if something happens and you're delayed, someone will know where to look for you. Pack a comprehensive first aid kit and keep it in a waterproof bag. Make sure you know how to use the items in your kit and practice basic first aid skills before heading out. Identify potential hazards in your surroundings, such as flash flood zones, steep slopes, or areas prone to rock falls. Avoid camping in these areas. Know the signs of hypothermia and how to treat it. Hypothermia can set in quickly in wet and cold conditions, even in mild temperatures. And finally, have an emergency plan in place. Know your evacuation route and identify the nearest shelter or high ground in case of flash floods. So there you have it. Those are my tips for not just surviving, but thriving during a rainy camping trip. Remember, preparation is key. With the right gear, the right knowledge, and the right mindset, you can turn a potential disaster into an unforgettable adventure. Don't let a little rain dampen your spirits. Embrace the elements, enjoy the fresh air, and appreciate the beauty of nature, even when it's a little wet. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure.